Hello guys. Some people are struggling with putting equations into slope-intercept form. So what I've done is I've gone through the homework, the 5-7A review, and I made a lot of notes on your homework, and I'm going to solve some of the equations I feel like people struggled with. So with slope-intercept form, the basic premise is that you're getting your slope, your x, and your y-intercept on the right side, and you're isolating the y. Notice how it's a positive y. So I'm just moving everything to the right side of the equation or to the opposite side of the equation to get y alone. So let's go through a few examples. So in this case, I have my y on the left side and it's attached to my 3x. I want to get the y alone, so I'm going to use the inverse operation and subtract 3x from both sides. Subtract from 3x from both sides. I end up with y equals, I put my slope and my x first, negative 3x minus 8. So this one's not too bad, and I would say primarily the signs are things that people lost. So be very aware of your signs. If I'm subtracting 3x on this side, I should be subtracting 3x on the right side and have a negative slope, a negative 3 for my slope. In this equation, my y is negative. This is what I'm trying to isolate. I'm first going to move my 7x, so I'm going to subtract 7x from both sides, minus 7x. I bring down my negative y equals negative 7x. I put my slope with my x first, minus 7. Now, a lot of people left the equation like this. They thought they were finished. A lot of people also forgot to bring down this negative with the negative y. I'm asking for the positive value of y, not the negative value of y. So everything needs to be divided by negative 1. My negatives cancel, and I get y equals a negative and a negative make a positive, so it ends up being positive 7x. And again, I have a negative and a negative making a positive plus 7. And here's my equation. So there were some sign issues with this equation when you're putting it in slope-intercept form. Moving on. I usually like to circle my y variable to know what I'm trying to move first. So the negative 3 is attached to the y, so I'm going to move my x first. I'm going to subtract x from both sides, and I get negative 3y equals negative x plus 18. I need to make sure my y is alone, and it's not because it's attached to this negative 3, so I'm going to divide by negative 3. Everything gets divided by negative 3. So over here, these are going to cancel, bring down my y equals, and I have negative 3 is going into negative 1, because we know if there's no number written before the variable that it's a 1. So a negative and a negative makes a positive, so here I'm just going to write it as x over 3. And then I also have to do the division here, so 18 divided by negative 3 is going to be negative 6. Okay, so you can leave it in this form, or you can just identify that the slope's really 1 over 3, x minus 6, and that's, I accept either of these forms, but some people feel more comfortable pulling the slope out as the 1/3. So there were a lot of little math errors in this problem here, so just be aware of your signs and make sure everything gets divided by that negative 3. In this problem, what I saw mostly is that people divided this 18 by negative 3 and they neglected to divide the x by negative 3. Okay, and I think I have one more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and circle my variable that I'm solving for, and I'm going to move whatever's attached. So subtract 5x, subtract 5x. These cancel, and I bring down my 4y equals, I'm putting my slope with my x first, minus 24. A lot of people stopped here, but you're not finished until that y variable is all alone. So everything needs to be divided by 4. And when I say everything, every single term on both sides of the equation needs to be divided by 4. A lot of people are not, they're not dividing this first term on the right by the 4. So this gets canceled. Y equals negative 5 over 4, because a negative and a positive is a negative, x. And then I pick up this one, negative 24 divided by 4 is going to be negative 6. And this is my equation. Okay, so hopefully this helped. I put a lot of the correct answers, I think, on the pages, but if not, you can ask someone else, or you can shoot me a note on Emoto. Have a good evening. Thank you.